As we age, our arteries naturally lose some of their flexibility. Think of them as elastic tubes. When we're young, they bounce back easily. But over time, due to wear and tear, lifestyle habits, and genetic predisposition, these arteries stiffen. The heart, still working tirelessly to pump blood through the body, now has to push harder, increasing the pressure against these less responsive vessels. This is what we know as high blood pressure, or hypertension. But it's not just a number on a machine, it's a condition with real and dangerous consequences. In elderly people, the risks associated with high blood pressure are especially concerning. Elevated blood pressure can silently damage the arteries, heart, brain, kidneys, and eyes over years. One study conducted by the American Heart Association revealed that adults over 65 with untreated hypertension were significantly more likely to experience strokes, heart failure, and cognitive decline than their peers with normal blood pressure. It doesn't cause obvious pain at first, which is why it's often overlooked, but its long-term effects can be devastating. Let me tell you a true story. In a quiet village in southern France, 74-year-old Geneviève had always been active, gardening, walking to the market, playing with her grandchildren. But over several months she began to feel more tired. Her hands trembled slightly when she poured her morning tea. Her daughter noticed she was repeating herself in conversations. Eventually, a doctor visit revealed she had been living with uncontrolled hypertension for years. The damage had already begun in her brain. Though medication helped stabilize her condition, the early signs of vascular dementia had already taken root. Geneviève's story is not unique. It's shared by millions of elderly people worldwide, unknowingly facing a battle with a quiet but deadly enemy. But there is hope, and knowledge is power. Research from Germany's University of Göttingen shows that even among the elderly, effective blood pressure control can significantly reduce the risk of heart attacks and strokes. Medication, yes, but also changes in daily habits, reducing salt intake, engaging in light physical activity like walking or swimming, managing stress, and most importantly, monitoring blood pressure regularly. In fact, studies show that seniors who monitor their own blood pressure at home are more likely to keep it under control than those who leave it to occasional clinic visits. In Italy, one community project in Milan taught elderly citizens how to cook traditional dishes with less salt and more heart-healthy ingredients. The results were astounding. Not just lower blood pressure, but better overall mood, energy, and a strong sense of community. That's the thing about high blood pressure. It's not just about the body. It affects the mind, the emotions, and the ability to stay independent. If you or your loved ones are over 60, this is the time to start paying close attention. Don't wait for symptoms. Don't assume it's just part of getting old, because high blood pressure is manageable when it's understood and taken seriously. We believe every elderly person deserves to age with dignity, health, and joy. So if you found this video helpful, please consider subscribing to Elderly Health Path. Let's build a healthier tomorrow together. Hypertension in old age doesn't just creep in, it accumulates over a lifetime. The choices we make in our 30s and 40s echo into our 70s and beyond. But even if those earlier years weren't perfect, there's still so much we can do to protect our health in later life. One of the most common misunderstandings among the elderly is that high blood pressure is inevitable. It's not. While it's more common as we age, it's not a normal or harmless part of growing older. Left uncontrolled, it becomes a major cause of strokes, heart attacks, kidney damage, and even vision loss. What's worse is that many seniors don't feel any different. There's no pain, no warning signal. That's what makes it so dangerous. It's like a silent fire burning slowly in the background until one day it flares up into a crisis. In a major study published in The Lancet, scientists found that treating high blood pressure in older adults, even those over 80, reduced the risk of cardiovascular events by nearly 30%. That's a huge number. Think of it this way. For every 100 seniors with high blood pressure who start treatment, up to 30 may avoid a life-altering stroke or heart attack. And yet, too many elderly individuals avoid treatment, thinking medication is risky or unnecessary. Some fear side effects, others think they're too old to start now. But the truth is, when managed correctly, blood pressure medication is not only safe, it's life-saving. Doctors today are trained to start low and go slow, carefully adjusting doses to avoid dizziness or sudden drops in pressure, especially in older adults. One powerful example comes from 82-year-old Thomas in Canada. After losing his wife, he stopped taking care of himself. Meals became irregular, sleep was poor, and his checkups became infrequent. When his daughter insisted he see a doctor, his blood pressure was a shocking 190/100. The physician gently explained the risks: stroke, heart failure, possible kidney failure. But rather than scare him, they worked together to build a plan. Thomas started walking each morning, eating more fruits and vegetables, taking low-dose medication, and checking his blood pressure at home with a simple digital monitor. Within 3 months, his readings had dropped significantly. But more importantly, Thomas felt alive again. He was no longer fatigued. He laughed more, engaged more, and said something that still sticks with me. I thought getting old meant losing parts of yourself slowly. Turns out I just needed to take back control. So many seniors believe it's too late to make a change, but it's never too late. Your heart, your brain, your life, these are worth fighting for. Monitoring your blood pressure, staying active, making small dietary changes, and following your doctor's advice can all make a world of difference. If this message resonates with you, or if you have a loved one who needs to hear it, please share this video and subscribe to Elderly Health Path. We're here to support you because aging should never mean surrendering your health. High blood pressure doesn't just threaten the body, it affects the soul of everyday life. For many older adults, the small pleasures of life, walking the dog, cooking with a spouse, playing with grandchildren, can gradually become more difficult without them even realizing why. Subtle symptoms like frequent headaches, lightheadedness, or shortness of breath often go unnoticed, or are brushed off as just part of getting older. But what if we paused and asked, could these be signs of something deeper? For many seniors, across the United States, Canada, the UK, and Europe, the answer is yes. These are the quiet signals of high blood pressure beginning to disrupt the body's normal balance, especially in a system already aging. It's important to understand how high blood pressure interacts with other health conditions common in older adults. Many seniors are already managing diabetes, arthritis, or memory issues. Hypertension, if left uncontrolled, doesn't just add another issue, it intensifies everything. In people with diabetes, for instance, it significantly increases the risk of kidney failure. In those with mild cognitive decline, it can accelerate memory loss by reducing blood flow to the brain. According to researchers at the University of Florence in Italy, elderly individuals with consistently high blood pressure showed a faster progression toward dementia than those with managed or lower levels. The reason is simple. Our brains need fair, steady, healthy flow of oxygen-rich blood to function. When the vessels carrying that blood are damaged or narrowed due to high pressure, the brain suffers. It's not all clinical, though. The emotional impact of high blood pressure is real. In a quiet suburb of Manchester, England, 77-year-old Margaret had always been fiercely independent. After her husband passed away, she handled everything herself, her shopping, her medications, even her finances. But after a minor stroke caused by undiagnosed hypertension, she struggled to speak clearly. She couldn't remember how to use the ATM, and her once bright spirit dimmed. Her story is not meant to scare, but to shine a light on what's at stake. Fortunately, with therapy, support from her daughter, and consistent blood pressure treatment, Margaret regained much of her independence. She now speaks passionately to local senior groups about the importance of not ignoring routine checkups and how health truly is wealth in the later chapters of life. Across Australia and Germany, public health campaigns are now encouraging elderly citizens to make blood pressure checks as common as brushing their teeth. Portable monitors have become cheaper, easier to use, and more accurate. Taking 2 minutes a few times a week to check your numbers could prevent months or years of suffering later. It's such a small habit with such a massive impact. So if you're watching this now and you care about living your later years with clarity, energy, and purpose, take a moment today to learn your numbers, and please subscribe to Elderly Health Path. We share insights that empower and protect you and those you love, because your health story deserves the happiest healthiest ending possible.